The following broadcast is not suitable for children under 3 years of age.
It's time for Clashing Heads, where the forces of good and evil converge depending on whose side you're on. Coming in from the left wing, socialist, knee-jerk, union lackey, Lefty Al from the left coast. Hello, Clashing Heads. Coming in from the right wing, heartless, demon-possessed, MAGA apologist, Righty Jim from a parallel universe and places only known to him and his God.
Hello, Clashing Heads.
Welcome to Clashing Heads. It is the new year of our lives, 2026. This is unofficial or official second season of Clashing Heads, episode 1.
Congratulations.
I think it might be more than that, actually.
Last year in 2025, we did 53 episodes. And before that, Righty Jim, we did 2 years of episodes. Oh, we did 1 year before that. That was only on YouTube. This is on Spotify and other social media.
Streaming platforms.
And we're looking forward to YouTube this year.
Yes, it'll be live YouTube videos this year. Do we commit to that?
We're committing to it. We should be committed.
You should be committed.
Oh, here we go. We're off to a great start. What do you think, Modern Mike?
Yeah, I think this is getting a little wild already, and it's the beginning of the new year.
Are we in Clashing Heads form? Anyway, we are calling this episode 2-1, but if you're a true fan of Clashing Heads, it might be episode 12-1. I don't know. We've been clashing for over 10 years, Righty Jim and Lefty Al.
I think we actually were clashing before they even put us on the radio.
I think we were, which was the incentive to go on the air so that maybe we could one day monetize it. How are we doing in that department, Righty Jim?
As well as we were doing 14 years ago.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Clashing Heads, everybody. All the news, all the rant, all the dystopia, illusion, and derangement you will ever need for the rest of your life.
Or the rest of the week.
And speaking of dystopia, illusion, and derangement, it's none other than the man who believes every foreign policy problem has a simple answer. Now,
Who might that be?
We will find out tonight on our show. So here he is, the answer to the quiz, or the Final Jeopardy answer, which is TDS, is the Final Jeopardy answer. Modern Mike, do you care to ask the Final Jeopardy question?
Yeah. What is the question? What are we
The
asking?
Final Jeopardy answer, TDS, and
TDS, and the question is, who is Righty Jim?
well, that's actually a good question, but I don't know if it could be. We're going to have to ask our judges. But first, we'll ask Righty Jim if he has the question to the Final Jeopardy answer.
What is an affliction that affects every moment of Lefty Al's life?
No. The true question is what is truly deranged sycophant?
Wow.
I bet you thought that was funny when you thought about that in your head, didn't you?
Or in the shower this morning. I don't know.
Ew.
What you do need a disclaimer that as much as I think of truly deranged sycophant as Righty Jim, I am not thinking of either in the shower, morning or night.
Move on, please, for the sake of humanity, move on.
But, however, Modern Mike,
Yes, sir.
as a segue to that portion of our show,
Yes.
when Righty Jim provides the Clashing Heads with the Clashing Heads theme music, I may be singing that in the show.
What is it? Old Lang Syne by Guy Lombardo?
No. It's an original work, and we will
Okay.
discuss. We can talk about it And later.
Right. Well, let me turn off the 5th rerun of the Rose Parade so we can get the show underway.
Well, this is the first show of the new year.
Yes, it is.
Did we watch the Rose Parade? Any of
I
us?
did.
I did. Yes, I did. In fact, I had a friend who unfortunately picked this year to go to the Rose Parade.
Oh, I went in that one of the 11 years when it was raining.
When did you go that it rained? Because my understanding was it hadn't rained since 1952.
No,
It was
raining
raining 20 years ago, right?
It was raining 20 years ago.
During the parade?
Yeah.
I think so. It was cold there. I was there one night doing a disco show at someone's house. They were having a huge New Year's Eve party, and we left the party at 2 a.m. We crawled through the people who were lined up already on Colorado Boulevard.
Oh, yeah, they're lined up all night.
And it was freezing, and I couldn't wait to get back in the car and crank the heat and get the heck out of Pasadena.
I went like at 3 or 4 in the morning with a friend of mine who did the time lapse every year. It was a great guy, and he invited me to join him at like 3 or 4 in the morning. It was crazy, and it was raining, and so I think that counted as one of the rain days.
Well, not if it didn't rain on the parade, because there have been parades that's rained before. There have been parades that it's rained after and rained on the bowl game, but not during the parade from, say, 8-ish to 10-ish, roughly.
And
this year it did.
But the sun came out for the bowl game.
A little bit. The field was still wet. I went 10 or 11 years ago, and it was clear and dry, a little chilly, of course, because it is January. And it was very interesting. Vin Scully was the Grand Marshal that year. So if you want to go look it up, I don't remember exactly which year. And he started right in front of from where we were sitting, and it was a wonderful thing.
Was it still Bob Eubanks and Stephanie Edwards?
I don't know. I was in the crowd. I didn't get to watch it.
Oh,
but yes,
they were very good.
Yeah, that might have been like one of the last few years they did it. Yes.
Yeah,
they're exceptional.
Yeah, it was.
They were the gold standard for it.
Bob Eubanks. Is he still with us?
I was just looking that up. Yes, he's 87 years old.
87.
All right. Well, many more to you, Bob Eubanks. You brought a lot of joy to our hearts. In Los Angeles, I don't think he was heard throughout the nation, even though he was the star of some national television programming.
The Newlywed Game.
Thank you.
Exactly.
And
Card Sharks.
Card Sharks.
And what was he known for before all that?
He was the guy who produced the first Beatles concert.
Not the first, but
in Los Angeles.
The one at Hollywood Bowl.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's correct.
Which, by the way,
Bob Eubanks trivia, everyone.
I think he was like 23 when he did that, by the way.
In fact, speaking of the Beatles, if you want to see something really, really well done, is the Beatles anthology. It's a 9-episode anthology that is on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I've seen parts of that. I watched parts of that.
It's very well done.
It's very long.
They're very long.
They're like 90-minute, 2 hours, and there's, like you said, there's 9 of them.
And just when you thought you've heard everything about the Beatles, this one is the one to watch.
You're gonna get me to get a Disney Plus subscription.
Oh, hey, just a quick question, Righty Jim. Did your friend who went in the rain did he get sick or come down with pneumonia?
No, she's fine. She flew home. She lives out of state.
Oh,
and but she was wet. Her granddaughter went with her, who was very unhappy about getting wet, and her daughter. So they were not pleased that unfortunately that this was the year that they decided to go to it.
And not only that, because of the rain and the overcast, you didn't have the flyover by the stealth bomber.
They did that during halftime of the Rose Bowl game.
Yeah, that's what it in there for. So wonder if we can segue.
Actually, it's the B-2 bomber, but we need to get going with our time.
If we could segue the using the U.S. military for an operation.
Yes.
I don't think the B-2 was involved in
but
Operation Enduring Freedom.
No, B-1.
Let's get into that, right, Jim? Do you want to give a little background? What happened? Was it Saturday night?
Yeah,
It was,
January 3rd, Liberation Day of Venezuela.
yes, Friday into Saturday. That is
Mhm.
correct.
Yeah.
So the U.S. law enforcement, with the help of Navy SEALs and some other people that probably have not been completely revealed,
Mhm.
conducted an operation in Caracas, Venezuela, and they captured one dictator, Mr. Maduro, who was the dictator for life of Venezuela.
And his lovely wife.
Oh, yes, and his lovely wife. You are correct.
Mhm.
I wonder if she had an Imelda
charges against her?
I wonder if she had an Imelda Marcos type shoe collection or not.
Yeah.
So, as those dictator wives tend to do, from what I understand.
Well, Righty Jim,
And he was escorted out. There were pictures of him on the USS Iwo Jima. He was then taken by plane to New York City, where he was arraigned for his crimes against humanity and the United States.
What do you think the outcome of that trial is going to be?
I don't know. I have some.
What will its sentence be?
There's some flaming liberal on Twitter who is not Lefty Al, who's screaming at me about he'll be innocent because you don't know what the charges are, or some other gibber.
Well,
I don't know.
that's
what
not necessarily true.
No, of course not. But he's just a flaming liberal. He's just angry that Trump did anything. So,
Well, tomorrow, the Congress comes back into session.
yes.
All 450 of those guys and gals, 435, and 100 of the senators come back. I'm sorry, 435. I was never good at math. And the thing was, Lefty Al, can we go to you now and find out how things are going to turn out for Donald Trump, as far as, was this a legal takeover or invasion, or
It wasn't an invasion. It was simply a law enforcement action.
Yeah, you don't have a law enforcement act, gentlemen. I'm referring to us clashing
Right,
heads
Jim.
right now as gentlemen.
Yes. Yeah.
To be determined. You don't have a military action and use the military. I don't care what you say, Righty Jim. It was the moment you do that, you use taxpayer dollars for the U.S. military on a, quote, operation, and that is, quote, not accountable to the U.S. Congress. You are stepping on the toes of the U.S. Constitution.
No, not.
Can I intervene just real quick here
Sure.
and bring up Barack Obama's
Yes.
situation,
Unlimited bombing of various targets.
and taking out bin Laden with no
Yes.
Congress approval?
Absolutely.
You don't need Congress approval. You need to inform Congress.
Let's not also forget. Yeah, Congress is full.
Congress, like, it's totally left in the dark on.
Yes.
So you've got 435 people. Who's to say that they wouldn't have blown it? And
Well,
something.
you don't have to tell. I believe Alan. You only have to tell the Gang of Eight.
leadership.
Yeah, and they
Not the
weren't.
Gang of Eight.
They weren't told, were they?
No, the Gang of Eight was not informed.
No.
Let us not also forget President Bush doing a very similar action against Panamanian dictator Noriega.
Noriega.
Yep. And their President Reagan invading Grenada, also without congressional action.
Lefty Al, what are the differences?
Well, look, we have this. In fact, I'd like to know the differences, because it seems like we have a president who hasn't really been very informative with the public. At first, he's told us this was about narco terrorism.
Mhm.
Then he goes into, well, we're going to get the Venezuelan oil because we owe a lot of money to the oil corporations. Then he says that we are going to run Venezuela. And then he says, well, it's America first. So, Righty Jim, I have a question for you. Which one of those?
Will it be a slanted question, Lefty Al?
Yeah, it's a question the American people deserve an answer to,
Will it
because
be a
we
slanted
got a
question,
president
Lefty Al?
who has been avoiding the answer.
So what's
not
the
sure what-
answer, Righty Jim?
I don't know what the question is.
I did. I said, what is this? What is this about? Why are we there? Why
We
did
are-
we take over a sovereign nation?
We didn't take over a sovereign nation. We didn't run the American flag up the pole, from what I understand.
Then what does running the country mean?
The Venezuelans will be running the country, probably with some of that.
Trump said America would be running Venezuela.
Well, Are there any Americans running it today? Are there?
Well, there's certainly military. He said that we might have boots on the ground. There's certainly military, I think, still there in Venezuela.
No, not my understanding. There's no boots on the ground, or if there are, they are just advisors of a minimal capacity. Are we not interested in talking about the very happy Venezuelans who've gotten rid of their dictator and a person that they have, despised for the time that he's been in office, and then the time that Mr. Chavez was in office prior to Mr. Maduro taking over.
So so
you're unhappy with freedom for the Venezuelans.
Hold on, Righty Jim. Let's not start out clashing heads with you putting words in my mouth.
I asked you a question. Are you not happy with freedom for Venezuelans?
I am very happy for Venezuelans. I'm sorry they've been duped by the big dupe himself.
I'm not sure how they've been duped. They have freedom, Lefty Al.
No, they don't have freedom, Righty Jim.
They don't have freedom.
No.
Why don't they have freedom?
Well, I'll ask you. I'm going to ask you some pointed questions. See if you can answer them. So we're talking about arresting Maduro, who everybody, I think, pretty much acknowledges was a pretty bad dude.
Well, there are some people that are unhappy about the transition.
Most people,
Democrats just in New York are very happy, but Mandami's very unhappy about it. He demanded that Maduro be released.
Righty Jim.
Lefty,
this is clashing heads.
Yes, it is.
We're talking about.
I think we're clashing heads about.
What does Lefty Alf have to think about it and say about it? And I will say that
I think the mayor of New York has a much larger.
No. But he's not on our show. When he gets to be on our show, then we can get his thoughts on it.
Well, then why are we talking about Trump all the time if he's not on our show?
Well, because he's president of the United States and responsible for this fiasco. So what we are seeing here, as my belief, Modern Mike, I'll speak to you. Okay. I think this is going to be Donald Trump's Vietnam. I see this as the Gulf of Tonkin. Okay, this is Donald Trump creating a big giant lie to get all eyes and attention off of his problems at home. Now, there's a great article written by Timothy Snyder on his Substack today.
Wag the dog, Lefty Al? Is it a wag the dog?
It's a little bit about a wag the dog, but let me ask you a few questions, Righty Jim. Let's go through these.
Fire away.
All right. So we acknowledge that Maduro is a problem. I think
a problem.
Yeah, he was a problem.
He's a killer. He's a thug.
He's an evil dictator who ran drug cartels.
Right. So let me ask you a question, Modern. Like, you tell me if these questions are good.
Okay.
And then let's see if Righty Jim can answer them. So if Maduro was such a bad dude and bad problem, which I accept, but apparently Donald Trump thinks that he wasn't such a bad problem but let me ask you, Righty Jim, so why did he leave Maduro's government in power if he was such a bad guy?
Because because I think we're learning from the problems in Iraq, where you basically wiped out all of leadership and you had no one to run the country. You got to leave somebody there to run the country.
Really?
But I would like to say
who've abused and their people.
Are you going to ask me a question and then answer?
No. I want to see you squirm out of this one.
I'm not squirming out of this at all. I think we've learned from the mistakes we made in Iraq. And now I would like to have seen a better plan for running the country. Then maybe there is one that they have not yet revealed to us, which would be fine. They're running, basically it is up to them. It's, again, we have to go with the Pottery Barn concept of you break it, you bought it. And if we break the country, then we've bought it. And hopefully this will not turn in to be another Iraq. That is the worst case scenario. This will not turn into be another Vietnam, because we're not going to sit there and take sides with it.
Well, we're not.
Because there aren't anybody who's going to support. How can we? Okay, Lefty, you want to answer the question, or do you want to?
Let's see if we can get it.
It's not going to be another Vietnam. We have 40 countries that have issued their support for the new government, including Canada, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Peru, Paraguay, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Honduras, Panama. European countries, Spain, UK, France, Germany, Austria, and Denmark, etc., etc. The countries that are unhappy, like Lefty Al is, China, Russia, Iran, and Cuba, Bolivia, Nicaragua, Honduras, North Korea, and Syria.
Oh, it's funny you mentioned Honduras.
If you're siding with China, Iran, Cuba, Bolivia, North Korea and Syria, do you really think those are people you should be on the same side with?
Well, I thought Syria is now a new ally of ours, right?
Well, I thought it was, but they don't seem to be very happy about this. Again, Mr.
Maybe unlike Venezuela, they are a sovereign country,
Mr. Mandani,
and not a territory of the United States. And so, Righty Jim, to continue.
What's your next question?
So my next question is, if this is not a war, why was I've asked this before, why was the military used without Congress's at least knowledge?
Because the same way that
we have eight.
But which you didn't know until I reminded you of what it was.
Go ahead.
Because there was still need for protection for the people going in there and coming out with him in this law enforcement action.
Here's the next question. What was the reason for this? By the way, was it regime change? Of course, right? But it's not regime change if the same regime is still there, right?
If you want to make a case that the messaging has not been great on this, I'm not going to necessarily argue with you on that.
Well, I mean, when we were in Iraq, it was apparently for noble purposes, but that was also a Gulf of Tonkin moment because
there actually was a war declaration. This was about. Remember Hillary's famous vote on it?
There was
then her reflecting on the vote.
Righty Jim, I was polite and let you talk. Now let me finish.
Okay.
Just like the Gulf of Tonkin, which was when Congress was lied into war by the Johnson administration,
a Democrat.
We'll talk about a Republican in the modern era who lied us into war.
By the way, second,
allow me to finish.
Giving you a warning.
Over, quote, weapons of mass destruction, which were never there. And that was a lie that lied to Congress. Now we have a president that is equivocating, and one of those equivocations is a lie. Because is it about drugs? Is it about democracy? Is it about oil? Is it about regime change? Is it about what is it about?
Or is it about the fact that ISIS and Hezbollah are taking a stronghold and hiding in Venezuela?
Oh wait, we missed a couple of others. Is it about fascism and authoritarianism?
Mm-hmm.
Similar to about removing it, actually. Let's see, I finished. Similar, your time we've got to move on to our
during World War II. Just let me finish.
This isn't
where the fascists were attempting to divide up the globe. We were talking about Germany and Italy and Japan,
which they
all had their spheres of influence. And Righty Jim, here's another question for you. Doesn't this send the wrong signal to Russia and China that the United States is claiming Monroe Doctrine kind of privileges over even the southern hemisphere of the United States, that maybe they now have permission in Russia's case for territorial claims on Ukraine, and same with China for territorial.
So is there something here, or are you just doing a run on set?
No, that's the question.
Okay, well, I don't know. We'll have to cover that in another one because we're out of time for this.
There's 3 more questions you can answer quickly.
Well,
if democracy matters, Righty Jim,
on to this.
If democracy matters
on new supplies and lack of transparency.
Not installing.
Well, Lefty out. We can cover this on the back of the
the democratically fair person who was elected, right? You know that.
Okay, so let's talk about the next topic because we've already covered it.
It's not up time left. Why doesn't the drugstore
Lefty out? This is within the jail.
These are all great questions. He's running.
Well, right, you can now.
We'll find out more tomorrow or during the week when Congress gets back in session.
Exactly. All right. Really? So let's talk about the auditor's report that was critical of Gavin Newsom's action.
Oh, God, we're going from something that is critical to the world to something that is so unimportant.
You're not concerned about $70 billion in California fraud, Lefty out?
You're not paying California fraud.
Do you not pay taxes in California, Lefty out?
Oh, and you pay taxes to the federal government, but you don't seem to mind having our military used for an operational purpose.
No, actually, I don't.
And take care. You don't mind that
Lefty,
United States is committing to running Venezuela. That's not that. Is that going to come on the cheap, Righty Jim? We're going to get a free ride on that.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Oh, I see.
So Lefty, what's your thought?
A green light.
Lefty, what's your thoughts on the auditor's report that's critical of Newsom and the lack of transparency in the funds that are not been accounted for?
Well, we're talking about emergency funds during COVID, aren't we, Righty Jim?
No, Lefty, did you not read the auditor's report?
I thought that's what the auditor's report was about.
Well, that's some of it, but that's not all of it. He's talking about the homeless money also, the high-speed rail, lack of anything showing for the tens of billions that have been spent on it. And just this week, Newsom shot down a bill that was passed bilaterally, not bicamerally. Yes, it was bicamerally. Bipartisan, excuse me.
Bipartisan.
And the California legislature that requires more auditing and reports on government spending. He said there's plenty of that already. But Lefty out, when you get both Republicans in California, which has got to be one of the most deeply divided states in the country politically, to agree on something, and the governor does not sign that, stating that it's just something we're already doing. Do you not have to question what is Gavin Newsom doing and how well is he really running the state of California for the taxpayers?
Well, Righty Jim, I would say that I question why he didn't sign that bill into law.
And what about the other funding that he has not been responsible?
But I would also say, in speaking about Gavin, there have been no criminal findings against Gavin. Gavin, probably like a lot of other governors, and that we have found, and you're going to go into this in the next topic, I'm sure, about Minnesota, because it all kind of comes together.
Yeah, it's like we're feeling a Tim Walz discussion coming up.
Yeah. Well, I know that's where Righty Jim is going, because he's so partisan, and we're dealing with a war where, by the way, last year, Righty Jim laughed at me when I said we were going to war against Venezuela.
Yeah, so I still do.
But still, when you remove
police action's not a war, Lefty. Maybe you need to learn the differences.
I don't care.
Again, let's stick on topic. You have a
He's the leader of a country. Even dictators, leaders
Lefty out
are protected by
moderator Mike. Can you give me a hand there?
Treaty.
I haven't hit my buzzer yet for the new year.
But I think you should, because I think Lefty Al has gone off.
Now, where's the little bell we had for Christmas time? It was so,
Wasn't it cute?
It was very, I liked it.
Yeah, well, it doesn't do enough to keep Lefty Al in action.
I think it should be a regular thing.
There's $70 billion that really doesn't have anything.
We have 5 minutes remaining. Can you do it in 5 minutes?
Ring the bell?
To the new mayor, who was
sure, Lefty Al. Which
we've got Mondani, we've got Tim.
He had his hand. Wait a minute. He swore on a not stack of Bibles, but the Quran.
On a Quran, yes.
So what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
You have to ask that question, Lefty Al.
He's Muslim. What's wrong with that?
The majority of Americans are not.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thomas Jefferson didn't even swear on a real Bible. He was agnostic. I mean, you're talking about American tradition of not having a religious state, and he is swearing on a Bible. He's sworn to do his duty and to do it for and in the name of.
Well, the Quran expects Sharia law. Then you expect him to implement Sharia law.
Oh, we don't expect that.
So what?
Just like we don't expect. Just like the Christian Bible says it's that the earth was created in 1 week. We don't expect to close up shop after 1 week. On Earth.
That has absolutely
there are certain things.
No sense.
People actually.
Well, Lefty Al,
it's also one of your Bible that says that too. You
Wouldn't that be called the Torah?
But Righty Jim, if he swears on a Quran, that puts him. I think he's taking his job rather seriously, because he's swearing on his own Bible. It doesn't mean we have to accept it, but that's him. I don't see what the problem is. And there shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't even be a discussion.
Yes, it should be. So during his inaugural speech, he stated, "We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism." Lefty Al, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I've never been, Modern Mike, I've never been someone who embraced anything frigid.
Except your ideas,
Well, no,
which are out in the cold.
So go on.
That's not an answer to any question I've asked.
Collectivism reminds me of
Mandami, or of Maduro in Venezuela.
Yeah.
By the way, yes. Okay.
All for one and none for all.
And Lefty Al, did you look into Mandami's executive orders and his actions upon taking office and what he?
I have to tell you, it may come as a surprise to you, Righty Jim.
Yes.
But I am not a citizen of New York City or state, and I'm not
a citizen of America.
I'm not following Mamdani, and I don't care to give him a national.
You didn't watch the inauguration?
I didn't. No, I didn't. I know. You're into anything to do with.
I'm into important news.
No, you're.
That affects the largest city in America.
No, you just
the city which I think. In the country which I think you're a citizen of.
You just showed your true sentiments against an entire religion that is in America, and that's how you play this game.
Okay, yes,
so,
and that's the game you're trying to
minutes. So 1 minute and 34 seconds.
So real quickly, he reversed all of Adams' executive orders, including those supporting Israel and curbing anti-Semitism. He signed executive orders for a full BDS. And Lefty Al, what is BDS?
BDS. Where DS, it would stand for derangement syndrome.
Boycott, divest, and sanctions against Israel, no Israeli products in New York City. All of the anti-Semitism legislation rolled back. All of Eric Adams'
tweets
have been deleted that were against anti-Semitism.
It's
going to be a very interesting time.
It's a very stupid move.
Well, it's a democratic socialist, and really, what would you expect? All right. I think we need to wrap this up. Moderator Mike, you want to get us out?
Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all.
Happy New Year to Clashing Heads.